Who's doing the open?
Oh, I don't know. Did you have one?
I wing it every single time. So
Go right ahead.
okay.
Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
Hello and welcome to Trekcast, the galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dan, Agent Dan of Section 13, which is the Section 31 of the Mirror Universe. Dun dun dun!
Oh, nice.
With me, as always, Daniel Reyes, Scott
me.
Strongbeard, Bowders. What's up,
Hello, everyone.
fellas?
What's going on?
You know, it just occurred to me now. Section 31, 31 flavors, Baskin Robbins. How have we not seen how have we not seen a Baskin Robbins Section 31 meme? Yeah, we got to get our people on that.
According to the Ant-Man movies, Baskin Robbins knows, so
Yeah.
yeah, so it's been there all along. Yeah, how you guys doing?
So, still sick.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, that crud's gonna linger for a while.
Oh man, it's terrible. It's terrible.
If you just have a cold, it's over. When it's over, it's over. But you have like the full blown type A flu.
Yep.
Then
that's
it
what I
just
had.
you get over it in a week, like 90% of it, and that 10% lingers on for like 3 more weeks.
I went to karate Monday after our last show. And I sparred for the last 20 minutes of class, and I thought I was going to die. My lungs were on fire, and I haven't been back since. So
Yeah.
My
Being
voice
sick
is
sucks,
still my voice is still ruined. And here's the, you'll take all the medicine for it, and you'll start to feel better. Then you're like, all right, I don't have to take the medicine anymore.
Right.
And then suddenly you feel worse. It's like, yeah, you feel worse. You're not taking the medicine anymore.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
Right. It's like people on like psychiatric drugs. It's like, well, I feel normal now, so I can stop taking my medicine.
Yes. The old med holiday.
Right. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Daniel, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I was prepping my pitch for this show, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I have some minor thoughts too, but I spent most of my time doing a top 10 list. So I've got that.
Okay.
I've got that ready for when we do the main topic.
Fair enough. All right.
As always, I'm very, very prepared. Pages and pages of notes. I was up all night creating an outline.
That's right.
Of my thoughts, and
with your quill and pen.
Yeah, none of those statements are true.
Amazing.
Phoning it in as usual.
All right.
Well, we're all literally phoning it in, so
yeah, literally phoning it in.
You're in good company.
Well, should we get to the Star Trek news?
Yeah.
This is the part where you tell us about what's going on with Paramount Plus.
That's going to be in there.
What's up with the mount?
Okay.
What's up with the mount?
That's going to be
no. What's up with the mount?
Star Trek news.
Right, and last week Scott didn't get the chance to see it, but we do have a Paramount sting, and since our first news story is about it,
it's
just circus music because that's all it is. Yeah,
lovely.
Our first news story comes
Paramount
to us from
Watch.
Variety, and looks like some CBS News staffers are pretty upset that Paramount is going to be settling the lawsuit with President Trump over the 60 Minutes lawsuit. This is the thing that Paramount believes is preventing their merger with Skydance Media. So they think if they can settle it, that'll make things a little bit easier for them to then do their merger. So there was an issue with a CBS News piece on 60 Minutes that I'm not too sure on. But yeah, the merger is being held up. They're going to settle this lawsuit. Apparently, the original lawsuit was for $10 billion. But who knows what they settle for out of court? Maybe.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say 10 million or 10 billion?
Billion.
Billion?
Yeah.
Billion with a B. Yes.
There was a similar lawsuit with ABC a few months back that they settled, and the majority of that the majority of that settlement was, well, all of that settlement was legal fees and donations to like foundations like the Presidential Library and stuff like that. And you know, this is the problem with gigantic conglomerates, gigantic companies that have their fingers in everything.
Yep.
Okay, this is the news. This is the news portion of CBS,
right?
And it's affecting the larger company, the merger, the entertainment, but it goes the other way too. You have, you know, there's been stories over the years of news portions of these companies that we're not gonna cover this story that reflects negatively on this foreign country because we release a lot of movies over there, and we don't want to, and that country doesn't have the same rights and privileges that everyone here does, and the government could block the release of this film or whatnot. So I mean, this is kind of an issue.
Yeah. So once they settle it, they might potentially get their merger through. So, you know, that's where we're at. So
I heard that President Trump is issuing an executive order making Star Trek its own thing.
Oh,
so
hopefully
he's taken it upon himself to divest it from the company, and he says Terry Matalas is going to be the king of Star Trek.
What a wonderful
so I hear.
Yeah.
So I hear.
So I hear. Yes.
Excellent. Good.
I heard
I can get behind that.
I heard the Paw Patrol was going to go patrol the border. So
yep. The new Star Trek company will apparently be based out of Greenland.
Yes.
So that's
excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
All right. So our next news story comes to us from what is this? Trekmovie.com, I believe it is. Yeah, Trekmovie.com. Alex Kurtzman, the Emperor of Star Trek, unfortunately, gives us an update.
He's the outgoing Emperor.
You think so?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Especially after the reaction of Section 31. I don't know, man. But so he gives an update on the live action comedy that Tawny Newsome is currently working on, that like hotel resort office comedy that I don't get it. Apparently
nobody knows. Nobody gets it.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. Tawny Newsome says that they are still working on it. She's really excited about it. She says fans will love it. It's going to be like a workplace comedy, kind of like in the vein of The Office. One interesting update that they gave was that it hasn't been officially greenlit. This is just development. This is just to get a pilot.
Oh, that's horrible news for the series.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That statement is what we like to call walking it back.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. So,
all right.
So that's where we're at with it. Also, apparently, the premise of the show has shifted from the original pitch. So that means people got their fingers into it, and now it's different. So yay. So there you go. That's that update.
Yeah, definitely walking it back.
Oh, for sure. And then our last news story comes to us from Gizmodo, and I just wanted to show this since we love food here on Trekcast. Apparently, we are going to get some interesting Star Trek foods for the Universal Studios Fan Fest nights that are coming up later this year, and they were showing off some of the Star Trek foods. So that's right there. We've got Vulcan fritters. We've got some sort of margarita that has a piece of eel on it for the Steady Alpha 5 margarita, that kind of orange one. The blue Romulan ale. We got Klingon parg legs and triple truffle trio.
I tell you what, man, it's been 15 years plus, and I still think about the Pypius claw from Star Trek: The Experience.
What was that? I have no idea about this.
It was boneless. It was a boneless buffalo wing, but it was fantastic. My wife used to get the Janeway salad. She loved that. We still talk about these things.
Nice.
Oh wow, yeah.
And there was the Borg sphere drink, which was just a bunch of green food coloring and a bunch of mixed alcohol with a clump of dry ice in it, so that it was smoking the whole time.
Didn't they have like a big drink called the Warp Core Breach?
Yes, which was very similar. I think that one was purple though.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the Vulcan fritters are. They look like falafel to me.
They look like meatballs, which, I mean, Vulcans are vegetarians,
right?
So that doesn't make
well.
Sense.
The photo at the beginning of the news story wasn't that Chekhov being attacked with the City Alpha slug?
Yeah, which apparently are delicious in soup.
Yummy.
That's the SETI eel margarita.
Okay.
Now, do you pour it in your mouth or your ear? What's the protocol?
Who can say?
Well, you do it. Part of it you drink, part of it you pour in your ear, kind of like Rom did to get rid of his ear infection in that one episode of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. Or is it like tequila? You drink it and then at the end you fish the worm out and that goes in your ear.
It's hard to tell.
That's pretty much.
And you're not a man. You're not a man unless you take the eel.
That's right. That's
it's like tequila, right? With the worm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to prove your manliness, kind of like eating the puffer fish or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a sign of strength.
Yeah,
what are we doing? Come on.
Fan Fest later this year, these foods will be available so you can try them. Is that rock candy that comes with the Romulan ale? Is that what I'm looking at?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
And apparently those Klingon target.
I mean, they look like
Breaking Bad meth.
Klingon time crystals. Really, they misnamed that one.
There you go.
But,
yeah. Horda's pepperoni pizza. Nice.
Oh jeez.
Those are targ. Those are targ balls, but we call them Vorcha mountain oysters.
Oh god.
Named for the Vorcha mountains.
Oh,
yeah. I was just about ready to ask, what part does it come off of the animal? Oh my god!
I want to know what the triple trios are. That like a pastry, I guess.
I don't know.
Well, haven't we talked on the show what we think the tribbles are without any hair? They're like what's that fishy thing you eat at the not mussel but something else, like a little tiny oysters? Nugget,
like an oyster.
No, mussel is the wrong word. Maybe scallop. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a scallop.
It's
like
that's what a shorn tribble looks like, is a scallop.
So it's only that big too. It's just tiny.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's all the news stories. So.
Thank God.
So if you order a 6-piece of tribbles, is it a 12 piece by the time they bring it?
By the time it gets to you, yeah.
If you pour water on them, do they grow more? Oh wait, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
who knows?
boy.
After one day, you have like 1,500,200 whatever.
Yeah, just don't eat it. Let it sit for a while, and you'll get more food. Yeah.
That's assuming a litter of 10 with an average gestation period.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
You guys ready for this main topic?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go.
Fun will now commence.
Okay. Do you mind if I get this out of the way? I've got a top 10.
Well, let me kind of present what's going on.
Okay.
So the main topic is, since Section 31 was so was received. I don't want to say well received. As is, Rotten Tomato score has continued to drop. It is now down 19% with critics, 16% with fans. Unfortunately, it is the lowest ranked. Yeah, it is the lowest ranked Star Trek show movie by far. So, yeah, it's not doing well.
And you know what? And you know what the worst part is? It's free.
That? Yeah,
it's free.
Yeah,
you don't have to go buy a ticket.
Nope.
If you were even remotely interested in this show, you already have Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not free, but there's no additional cost.
Yeah. It's so
Gotta
sad.
love it. Gotta love it.
Oh, we forgot to mention the holiday before we get into that.
Oh yeah. It's
yeah.
Day.
It's Groundhog Day. Again.
Yeah, we'll have a special Groundhog Day bonus content at the end of the episode. So after the credits, stick around after the credits.
That's right.
Yes.
And I did check. Phil saw his shadow, so 6 more weeks of winter.
Oh yeah. Well, thank God he's wrong.
Which Phil?
66% of the time.
It's Tony Phil.
Which Puxatawny Phil? Because the Long Island Phil, he said spring's right around the corner.
Whoa! We don't want your discount Phil talking about our
Phil.
weather. Yeah. Okay. Is he even a? Is he even a groundhog? Is he like a ground squirrel pretending to be a groundhog? Get out of here with your
common bitch.
Get out of here with your knockoff crap.
That's right.
New York.
All right. So we're supposed to give our pitches or ideas how to improve Section 31, the movie, the show, whatever it is you're going to do.
Turn it off. That's the only way.
Dude, the amount of people that put that as a response when I asked on social media was just like, nope, don't do it. A lot of was just fund more lower decks. Like it was pretty interesting. All right, Scott, you had a top 10 list?
Yes. First, I would like to say, besides being Groundhog's Day, today is my wife's birthday. So Mrs. Strongbeard has turned 29.
Oh, nice!
I just wanted
happy birthday.
Wish her a very happy birthday, even though she told me don't mention it on the show. So I'm probably going to be in trouble after this. Anyways,
happy birthday!
Yes,
happy birthday.
I've got the top 10 movies with a better Rotten Tomatoes score than Section 31.
Oh man!
Wow.
At number 10. Now, to be fair, this was a tie with 19%. The movie Cats.
Wow.
Everybody remember Cats? That came out a few years ago. That was a movie version of the Broadway musical Cats. It was absolutely horrible. Number 9.
Like freaky looking animals too.
Yeah, it was just bad all around. It was just horribly bad all around.
Yeah.
Number 9, and whenever you turn a board game into a movie, it's obviously going to be a great hit. Battleship had a better Rotten Tomatoes score than Section 31. Number 8.
Hold on a minute. That movie had Rihanna firing a cannon. How could that be worse than Section 31? Anyway, right?
Yes.
She was in that, Rihanna?
Yeah. Can you tell me anything else about that movie?
No.
Do you remember anything else about that movie?
No. I remember
that movie.
I remember that I didn't realize it was based on the game until like the closing credits or whatever. And I remember my buddy and I joking about how, geez, they'll make a movie about anything if they're doing board games. And the pitch we came up with was Chutes and Ladders, right? And it was a buddy cop film, and one of them his last name was Chutes, and the other one his last name was Ladders.
That's awesome.
Oh my god!
Right?
Oh my god!
There's a scene where the cranky old black police captain is screaming at them.
Right.
Screaming at them. And the line for the trailer is him yelling at them, "Do you think this is a game?"
See, I would have gone with like a John Wick style. He's trying to escape a some sort of warehouse, and he's got to go up and down the warehouse to get out.
Like a labyrinth
Yeah.
full of chutes
Yeah.
and ladders.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right. Next one.
Okay. Number 8, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is the one from 1995, folks. Had a
Oh,
better
wow.
score on Rotten Tomatoes than Section 31.
Okay. Okay.
Number
Is that the one
7.
where they
This is
jump out
personal for me.
Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I've never seen Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, but they skydive
num-
in the beginning.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll take your word for it.
Very 90s.
Number 7, Batman Forever had a better Rotten Tomato score than Section 31. Number 6 had this movie had a better score than Section 31. Superman 3, the one with Richard Pryor. Yeah,
Wow.
better score. Number 5, fitting, is Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier. Better score on
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes than Section 31.
Share your pain with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Number 4, the movie Twilight had a better Rotten Tomatoes score. Number 3, The Matrix Revolutions. Matrix 3. Does
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
remember that one? It was just a
saw
giant
it.
garbage bag filled with crap.
Garbage.
Okay.
Yes. That has been most garbage.
Number
bags,
2. Number 2. Showgirls had a better Rotten Tomato score than Section
Hold
31.
on, there was things to appreciate about Showgirls.
Just
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. The 2 things to appreciate about Showgirls. That's
It's
it.
right.
Come
That's
on.
right.
He can't say it's Desiree's birthday. She's
That's
listening.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Hey, his mom's
I defy-
watching too. She
Uh,
wrote a comment.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Hi, Bob.
Tell your mom what those 2 things are that you
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
about
Share with the
Showgirls.
class.
I defy either one of you to tell me what the plot of Showgirls was.
I've never seen it. Wouldn't know.
Okay. And the number 1 movie
Mhm.
that has a better Rotten Tomato score than Section 31, starring Star Trek's own Robert Duncan McNeil, who played Tom Paris.
Oh,
Masters of the Universe.
That's right.
Masters of the Universe had a better Rotten Tomato score than Section 31.
That movie is glorious trash. I love it.
Yeah. It's awful.
Yeah.
So
It's awful.
I think
You know,
that top
funny
10 list
story.
illustrates.
Funny story
Yeah.
about that film. Sometimes you remember a movie through rose-colored glasses,
Yes.
and then you rewatch it. Yeah, so I hadn't seen that movie in about 30 years.
Mhm.
And I bought the DVD, and my wife and I were dating each other, and I was like, I watched this when I was a kid. It's great. Do you want to watch it with me? And about 20 minutes into it, I turned to her and I was like, we don't have to finish this. We could do something else. Like, I was embarrassed. I was surprised by
Yeah.
how bad it was, but better than Section 31. So
Better than
there's
Section
that.
31. There's movies that, you watch them through rose-colored glasses, and then you watch them again, and they're still great. I still love the Goonies. One for me that still stands up is RoboCop. Love RoboCop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was great
Yes.
back then, and it's great
Yep.
now.
Fantastic
you know,
film. If
but,
I've said it before, if I could only watch one film for the rest of my life, that would be the one.
RoboCop. Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
Would you rather watch RoboCop 2 or Section 31
Ooh.
again?
RoboCop 2 wasn't a horrible movie. RoboCop 3, on the other hand, was
Yeah, that's the one with the ninja, right?
the ninja, and
Yeah.
that was dog meat.
RoboCop 3 I only watched once back in the 90s when it came out, and I said never again.
Mhm.
RoboCop
Yeah,
the
Alejandro
series,
says Johnny 5, Short Circuit.
Yeah, Short Circuit.
I watched that about 5-10 years ago. It was still a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, do you got your pitch for Section 31? What you would do?
My pitch for Section 31, and it's going to sound like I'm phoning this in,
Okay.
and I am kind of phoning it in, but this is is a legit truth. I did give this a lot of thought, and Section 31 doesn't need to be its own show.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be its own movie. It doesn't need to be its own show. Not everything needs to have its own movie or its own show. There are things that are popular because they are an aspect. Yes, Flight of the Navigator is a good movie. Watched it with my kid about 5 years ago. Still holds up.
Yeah.
There are things out there and concepts out there that are good and popular and entertaining and work well as an aspect of something else, but on their own, it doesn't work. All right.
Right.
Case in point, we've never had a Klingon show. We've never had a show just about Klingons because I don't think they could carry. I don't think they could carry their own show.
It's funny you mentioned that.
That sounds just as racist as that first officer that Data was in charge with.
So okay,
just like Klingons wouldn't make good counselors, and Bolians wouldn't make good chief engineers. I just don't think Klingons could carry their own.
So I listened to a few screenwriting podcasts, and on one of them, one of the writers mentioned that he had been working on a Worf comedy show, like Star Trek Next Generation DS9 Worf. They were pitching a 30-minute comedy show with him in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
and it just never got off the ground. But their script.
Thank God.
Yeah. But in the same way, okay, so the Klingons are there for us to contrast other characters against them. They're there for you to compare the other characters to and note the differences. They're there for the culture clash. And a lot of the different groups are there. It's the same reason a Ferengi show wouldn't work. Ferengi episode is great. Take us out of Deep Space Nine for a minute. Put 7 Ferengi on a runabout. Send them to Empok Nor to meet the Dominion and trade a Vorta for a Moogie. Great episode. Hilarious episode. Would I want 26 episodes of that? Absolutely not. Would I want 13 episodes of that? Absolutely not. 10 episodes? Absolutely not. Would I want a movie? Absolutely not. Do I want those 1 or 2 Ferengi episodes a season? Hell yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Borg. The Borg would pop up a couple times a season on TNG. Great. Voyager got to be a little much. They were entire seasons that they were the arc. But you can have a Borg series. You can have a TV show where all the characters are Borg, or a movie where they're all Borg. It doesn't work. Not everything has to be its own thing. That especially when Section 31 is really the antithesis of everything that we love about Star Trek. So making them the hero in their own show or their own movie, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
If you want to have an episode every now and then that deals with them, okay, great. If you wanted to have a series, I guess the only way I could see it working is if they did an anthology series,
right?
And they revisited events in Star Trek history, and they show us, this is what happened in the background that you didn't see. That's the only.
That could be kind of cool.
That's the only way I could really see
like a Rogue One.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I do have a pitch.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Let me get ready.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought about the movie and what I would do. Completely scrap the script that we saw, and I would do something completely different. So I would start. The start of the film is Giorgio is chasing a masked person through a space station. We're running through, through promenades and through Jeffrey's tubes and all that.
Are they running?
Huh?
Are they running through? Are they running through walls?
They are not running through walls now. We're gonna give that up. It's gonna actual physical fight. And she's chasing this person. There's some fighting, and eventually the masked person gets cornered, and there's a big long drawn out fight. But eventually that person is able to stick a data rod into a computer terminal, hit a few buttons, and sends out a transmission. And then when the transmission goes out, it starts going off about this secret organization within the Federation called Section 31. This will be our reason to explain to the normal people what the hell Section 31 is and how bad it is. And it also
the normies.
That's right. And along with the transmission, all these files are released, like the genocide that Section 31 wanted to do against the founders, just all these horrible crimes that Section 31 did, right?
So it's WikiLeaks.
Yes, it is WikiLeaks, right? And so Giorgio removes the mask of the person, and the person underneath the mask is Giorgio. And she's like, "What the hell? Somebody cloned me? What the shit is this?" So she goes back to Section 31, and she's like, "Hey, there was a clone of me, and then it disappeared. I don't know what's going on. Who's cloning me?" And Section 31's like, "Yeah, we don't have time to deal with that. The Federation is falling apart now that all of our crimes have been, laid out to bear. A bunch of member planets are thinking about leaving the Federation. Our rivals are also saying how terrible we are and how we have no morality to stand on. And so now everyone is against the Federation, and it's falling apart within the seams." So they tell Giorgio, "Look, we have one way to stop this and prevent this. We have this one Klingon time crystal. Because you've dealt with them before, you know how to use them. Yes, it can only send you back 3 days in the past, and because it codes to you once you touch it, you can't just go get another crystal and reuse it again and have unlimited Groundhog Day inspiring, right? You've got one shot at this to go back and fix it, prevent, find your clone, stop her, and prevent this from happening so that the Federation can still stand, right?" So she goes back in time. She starts, making her connections with the underworld, and she starts trying to find out who is trying to get all this information. And she comes into contact with who is pulling the strings behind it. It is none other than a now older. This is all set in like the Picard timeline, right? Like that type. And she runs into
Giorgio is in the 25th century.
Yes.
Now?
Yeah. Because that thing said it was going to leave her, before they diverged too much, right?
Okay.
So it's her future, but whatever. Anyways, she runs into who's pulling the strings, and it's none other than the Intendant from the Mirror Universe.
Nice.
The non-visitor. Yeah. And the Intendant is like, "Hey, you're the Emperor. You're the one who disappeared. Holy shit, what are you doing here?" And so they realize they're both from the Mirror Universe, different timelines. But
Hold on.
Yeah.
And then they make out.
Duh.
I mean,
It's the Intendant. I mean,
yeah. Of course,
That's
they
a
make
given,
out.
Dan.
Yeah. And so basically, the Intendant's like, "Hey, I left after everything that happened with the Regent. I did check with the last episode of DS9 for this to make sure this all fits in the timeline. But yeah, so after the Regent fell, she escaped to our universe to hide out, and now she wants to make this universe more like home by making the Federation fall apart. And once it's torn apart, she can then rise to power, the Intendant, right? But now that the Emperor is there, she's like, "Well, I'll do this all for you, Emperor, of course." So so Giorgio plays coy and is like, "Oh yes, of course, perfect. I'm here to take over with you, and yeah, we'll do what you want to do." Of course, just trying to get more information as to what's going on. So there's a little bit of debating philosophies. The Intendant is like, only the strongest survive, and Giorgio's like, "Well, I've learned that helping each other out helps build everything." And so you have those battle philosophies. And then eventually, the Intendant gets all the information, and she is going to make that transmission, right? Because she's the person who's going to do it. Georgia decides, well, I'm going to stop her finally once and for good. And so they have their big long fight, and Giorgio realizes, well, the Federation cannot stand on a lie. Like it just cannot. So this information needs to get out, but it needs to get out the right way. So Giorgio decides she's going to release it. That's why she dons the mask and she goes to put out the information. And when she puts out the information, when she fights herself again, and it goes out this time, it's all the bad stuff, but it's also all the good things that Section 31 has prevented. So now the truth of everything is out there, right? So now the Federation can be like, yeah, we messed up. Yeah, we had our bad side of us, but here's the reality of everything. From here, we can build a better, more solid foundation for the Federation, a more honest one. So,
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I
So
like
there you go.
that. Yeah,
And then
it definitely
Paddington shows
it's a
up.
more plausible sort of storyline that I could get behind.
Yeah, it's it adds to to a few of the other Star Trek series, right? We got the Intendant, we got plus it's cheap. You only really need the two of them. It's cheaper than what we got. So
While she has the time crystal,
yes,
can she go back and prevent them from making the movie that we all watched last week? Can we just do that?
I mean we could do that. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna put a line in there too, like if I had written the script out, that one of the things she worries about is by letting out all the information she's gonna ruin in the future for Discovery, right? Because now it helped change that future. And
Yeah.
so what she learns is that through the time crystal, basically it seals off that universe inside that time crystal. So that thing is still going on in the crystal. And so that's how the crystals work, is they're all their own pocket universes within them inside. Whatever. Just
Oh, those are the same things that are being shown at the end of the Men in Black movie.
that's right. That's right.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's been a week
Oh.
and I still haven't seen Men in Black. I'm sorry.
It's such great shame upon our house.
It's good. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not like Tommy Lee Jones? He's great.
Mhm.
His deadpan in that series is
okay. So
amazing.
this also came out in the era where Will Smith had no acting skills whatsoever. He played Will Smith. No matter what
That's
you
right.
saw him in, he was Will Smith fighting aliens in a spaceship. And
Yeah.
he was Will Smith fighting aliens in sunglasses. And he was, Will Smith as a cop. Will Smith as whatever.
Yeah,
He has
that's what we like.
He's
Yeah.
come a long way. He didn't throw it all away, but he's come a long way. But I don't know. Someday I'll watch it, I guess. Maybe.
Have you heard the song at least, right? Here come the MIBs.
Get jiggy with it. Na, 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 na.
Oh.
Right? That one?
Keep going. Keep going. I'm not sure I know.
I know.
Yeah.
I know which one it is.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
Can you do a few more bars, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the
Few
song.
more bars.
Yes.
Busted chops.
I did not come up with a full synopsis like you guys did. I did have a couple ideas though.
Okay.
So I think part of the problem with this one is a lot of people said it looked too much like Star Wars. It looked a little too gritty, a little too dirty, a little too,
too rough.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's put it back into Starfleet. My thought was, we've seen a few episodes in Deep Space Nine and in Enterprise where there's a recruiter trying to recruit somebody else. Okay. And so I thought it would have been interesting to see Giorgio trying to recruit a young Lieutenant Garrett into Section 31. Now, I don't know why that would be. I'm not exactly sure and it would take place right after season 2 of Discovery, so a few years before Captain Kirk. And there would be a time travel element where it would be it would sort of be an interagency little bit of turmoil between Section 31 and temporal investigations. where temporal investigations wanted to prevent any time travel stuff going on, but Section 31 knew that this particular case, time travel was necessary, and that time travel event would be Rachel Garrett going into the future so she could age up to Captain Garrett in the correct time. Okay. Now, I don't know why she had to go into the future, but she had to be there for the events of yesterday's Enterprise, and the only way for her to do that would for her to be thrown into the future, 50 years, 60 years, whatever time would make sense for her being a human and the age that she was. But it would take place on a starship. It would take place on a Federation starship for at least half of the movie. So we would see these familiar elements that would draw us in as Star Trek fans. It would be, Giorgio coming aboard as some sort of ambassador, some sort of, official capacity.
What if, just real quick, what if Rachel Garrett was already out of time, and so she just needs to return back to her time?
Yeah, that's great. But that'd be fantastic. I just wanted to see Star Trek in this.
Yeah.
And this, and maybe even not like that we're trying to go over the same plot points, but like one of the things that Section 31 does is that they go out and they seek, special people, that could help them. Maybe Rachel Garrett is, we only saw her for a few scenes in that one episode of The Next Generation, but maybe she's not.
What's the issue? What's the issue with her age? Why does she have to move through time? I'm not following it.
Well, because nobody knows what year Section 31 took place in, and if it took place.
Actually, I watched a couple of I cheated. I watched a couple of other podcasts, and they put it. It's post Undiscovered Country, so she did not go back to right when she left. When the Guardian of Forever.
Yeah.
When the Guardian of Forever sent her back in time, she didn't go back to, around the time when she left. So it's not strange. It's not Strange New Worlds time. It's
Daniel,
post Undiscovered Country, pre-encounter at Farpoint. So I think Rachel Garrett is exactly the age she's supposed to be.
Okay. So Daniel, you write stories. Would there possibly been a way at all? Is this even feasible? They could have in Section 31. I don't know what's it called when you explain something.
Oh, exposition.
There's a star date.
Exposition.
There is a star date. Yeah. There is a star date given. We must have missed it, but there is a star date given.
We all missed it, and we all know that star dates are,
right.
So it would have been nice to get a little bit of
the nerds can decode them.
Yeah.
The big nerds.
The big nerds, right?
We're regular size. We're regular size nerds.
Apparently, I'm not big enough of a nerd to decode a Star Date.
He says on his Star Trek
podcast. You only have one Star Trek podcast.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So even so, let's bring it back to the Federation. Let's bring it back to Starfleet a little bit. Let's not have all this ragtag of cyborgs and mechs and all these other people that was just fan service to see a Deltan and a Comaloid. If it fits within the story, that's fine. If you want to bring one back, bring a Deltan back. Okay, fine. Bring a Deltan back or a story revolving a Comaloid. That's fine. But don't just throw everything into the pot that you think would be cool. Bring it back to the Starfleet.
It's not a good
right, exactly. And so just rein it in just a little bit. And have it a personal story between Giorgio and Garrett, and sort of set her up for. It doesn't even have to be set up for another movie. It's setting her up for whatever we know is going to be the future. This is past.
Can I redo my pitch?
Yeah, go for it.
Forget Giorgio. It was a bad idea from the beginning. Just forget all.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Forget all about her. Forget about that era of Star Trek.
Honestly, there's mechs in it, like Mech Warrior video game. Yes, there's a mech in it.
Yes, there's 5 of them. They go together to form a bigger one.
That's right. I would have loved that.
So no, my new pitch, if we're gonna do a Section 31, bring back William Sadler. He's still around.
Yeah.
Set it in the 25th century.
Didn't his character die?
Have it.
Bring back Dr. Bashir.
It's Section 31, man.
Yeah.
Do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Did he die? I don't remember.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, he died.
yeah.
Season 7 of Deep Space
Because
Nine.
they were all in. They did Inception in his head.
Yeah,
He died. Then they would have been
died
trapped.
trying to prevent the cure from getting out. The
Yeah.
changeling cure.
All right, but Section 31. He's not really dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, do it 25th century. Do it as an episode of Legacy, not a movie, not its own series.
Mhm.
Yeah, I came up with the the turmoil between the two agencies sort of on the fly, but I think I would like to see two separate agencies that we've seen just a few times, the Temporal Investigations and Section 31 sort of butting heads.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
And then somebody would get
See
in the middle of it, whether it be Dr. Bashir. It would be a great like buddy cop movie between Bashir and O'Brien. Like they're retired,
Yeah.
Which one of them is shoots and which one is ladders?
You could do something kind of cool where like a Section 31 group needs to break into like a Borg cube because some top official has been recently assimilated and now they want to get that information.
Oh yeah.
Borg cube.
Yeah.
Just
I like it.
something off the top of my head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you hear that, Paramount? Whoever owns you?
That's right. Who does own them at this point?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
They don't even know. Paramount doesn't
They don't
know.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. I do look forward to the next section of news from Paramount. The little headliner you had. I like that.
Oh yeah, the little stinger. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
All right.
Cannot wait.
Well, we should probably get back to feedback. And
Yeah.
So let's get there.
Listener feedback.
Do you check for voicemails? Any voicemails or I didn't send one.
I get emails when they come in, so I didn't.
I've been encouraging
see anything.
people to.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we had a few voicemails the other day. The other show. Did put out on all the social medias, hey, if you could change something about the Section 31 movie, what would you change? The vast majority was just don't do it. But we did get a few that I was surprised about. Some people were like, just turn it into a TV series. You try to do too much in one movie. Okay. Others were you give me Lower Decks instead of Section 31. And still other ones were like, I would have scrapped it and done some completely different series. So there we go. Yeah. All right. And
hence the Rotten Tomatoes score.
it's so bad. It's so bad. I feel bad for the actors that were in this movie. Because, like, they got to see all this stuff. And what do they think? That can't be.
Yeah.
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 All right. We got Chazbiz on the line, so let's bring him in. There he is.
Hello,
Chazbiz.
guys.
Hey.
Hello,
You know,
Chazbiz.
Every actor's made a bad movie. So, like, you
That's
go
true.
back in time, when they first got started, they all made bad movies. And this one's just going around the internet because it's so awful. This is Star Trek. It has the IP attached to it. And it was like a really bad B movie. Like, USA Up All Night type of movie you'd see back in the 80s.
Oh, those movies
yeah.
are a little more entertaining in one way.
Yeah, like Toxic Avenger style, like a trauma film or a
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be remaking
class of
Section 31.
1999, like just really bad B movies. Especially
Yeah.
the guy in the mech suit, because that was not a mech. That was just awful.
Yeah. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was like, at least design his suit a little bit cooler than that. It looked really bad.
Hey, Big Dumb Robot Guy was Big Dumb Robot Guy at least.
Yes, he was Big Dumb Robot, and he died. So
Yeah.
and it was kind of worth it. You know, and the coolest probably thing was that little micro creature, whatever it was.
Yeah, the guy from Men in Black.
Pilot?
Mhm.
Yes. I actually really, really like that alien. I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
Kevin says there's some defending Section 31, saying it wasn't meant for Star Trek fans. It's really sad. Why can't we go in a new
Who was it meant for
direction?
then?
Yeah. That's the thing.
That's like making a Marvel movie and saying this is not really for comic book fans.
Right. James T. Quick. Maybe temporal investigations going to an old Star Trek episodes, rescuing crewmen as they die in the episodes, then recruited transporting them away into a new PC and AI take old videos and make it new again.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they take like Lieutenant Carey from Voyager, who dies in the second to last episode of Voyager.
Uh-huh.
They take all these characters that they take
And make a team.
minor,
Like,
like
red
minor,
called red
make
shirts.
exactly, yeah.
Mhm.
So just at the moment of death, they beam them away, and it's like, oh, okay.
The real Suicide Squad.
And could they be led by Garrick? Like make Garrick
Yeah.
in charge of Section
Yeah.
31.
How cruel? How cruel would that be? Hey, you were gonna die, so we saved you.
Mhm.
Now you can work for us. Never talk to your family and friends ever again.
Yeah.
Or we can beam you back in, and you can die as scheduled.
Well,
Like-
there was
like-
a movie. There was
That's
a
like
movie.
Doctor Strange in No Way Home.
I was
Hey,
just
you-
gonna say, yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
No Way Home-ish.
Yeah. Spider-Man's
There's
about
a
to kill
bad
you,
movie.
so you got to go back.
It came
Oh,
out
not
in,
Garrick, Damar. Damar can head it up.
Yeah.
Oh, tomorrow.
It's like it reminds me of all the there's a bunch of RoboCop memes out there where they say dude literally died at work and they made him come in the next day anyway.
Yeah.
You could have Trip, Commander
my favorite
Tucker.
ones- yes. You have Commander Tucker. That'd be awesome. What about Ensign Rose?
Tasha
She
Yar.
died on Picard. So.
Yep, Tasha Yar, Ensign Rowe, Jadzia
Oh.
Dax.
Eddington.
Eddington.
Ooh, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Like have him.
Uh-huh.
'Cause he's kind of, and then he goes after. Well, Cisco's already dead because he's the Cisco. So
Wayne 6, who dies in Odo's arms.
Oh, that's right.
that would be a good Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All
I want a
the-
whole series. I
All
want
the Wayans?
a series called Star Trek Wayun. It's just
Yeah,
it's just
it's
all
like
the way.
6 of them
Yeah, yeah.
against the
That's great.
magnificent Ferengi. So
Uh huh.
that'd be like a versus.
Yep. And Kess.
Oh God, no,
Yes.
no, no.
Kess.
The Salamander Babies and Wayun. That's your show.
Right.
Okay, ranking is Section 31 the worst episode of Star Trek? Worst, I know it's the worst movie, but would it go down as the worst episode?
It's the worst of like just the
Uh,
overall estimates of the series is and all that.
Because there's some
Right.
really bad episodes out there that
Yeah, I don't know.
I have a hard time.
I
watching.
tried. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't have. They started to do TV shows, but they don't have all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't have individual episodes as far as I know. They just have like
Oh.
season 1, season 2. Like
what
that
about
kind of
IMDb rankings? Because IMDb, you have the personal rankings on there, so where people can.
stuff? Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look. I have IMDb, but I'll take a look.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Oh, we lost Dan. Or he was done talking about Section 31 and he's just out.
He's gonna go watch Men in Black now.
That's right, finally.
He's gonna sing
Finally.
the song.
Yeah.
He's gonna wear some.
Oh, did we lose Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna come back.
My
next
internet
week
was
with
getting
the
choppy
black
too.
suit.
So
Yeah.
He's gonna be wearing his outfit from the beginning
There
of
he
the
is.
movie. The Men in Black, that
Yeah.
orange outfit he had on. It looked
Yeah.
awful.
Getting jiggy with it.
Yeah.
Get jiggy with it. Right, that's the one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh wow,
I would watch.
this is
No,
interesting.
go ahead.
Okay, apparently, according to one of our viewers,
Summer by guy.
Dumb Robot Guy did an interview where he was reluctant to do the Section 31 movie as he is a Trekkie and he knows fans did not want it. Apparently, Kurtzman explained to him that Trek is dying.
If Trek is dying, he's killing it.
I know.
Yeah.
He's been in charge of it for 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
That needs to be a news story. They need to fire
Yeah.
Kurtzman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you get money?
You
for
hear that,
selling
Paramount? As soon as you figure out who owns you, the next step is to fire Kurtzman.
it? Is Star Trek supposed to be like a write-off or something? Like
Maybe.
like
It's the new Batgirl.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Are they trying to like tank it on purpose to write it off?
They're going to tank
feels
it,
that
and then
way
we're going to go
sometimes.
another 15 years without anything. And then in the year 2040, we're going to get like a resurgence of Trek.
Well, and
Wow.
I guess you guys can do the reviews. Start with TOS and end it.
I wouldn't mind
Be
if
700
there is a
episodes,
lull.
so-
Yeah, if there is a lull, I wouldn't mind getting some listener feedback onto certain episodes. Timeless from Voyager is coming up for me. I'm a rewatch, and I'm really looking forward to it. I wouldn't mind doing that. Like we've done like Take Me Out to the Hollow Suite, and that was a lot of fun.
Kurtzman said it is dying because it does not have younger fans. I would argue that
Yep.
this is because they make Star Trek that parents like me won't let their kids watch. Yeah,
I've been saying that for how long we've been doing this show?
I know for
Yeah.
years.
You got to hook
Yeah.
the younger audience. It's like you don't hook the younger crowd. It's kind of like
I
Star
mean, you
Wars
had a
has
show to
that
hook
problem.
younger kids,
Yeah,
Prodigy.
you did.
and then you made it go away.
Well, I don't know. Were the kids hooked on it? Like Dan, did your kids watch it? Scott, did your kids watch it?
My
No.
son watched a few episodes with me and kind of lost interest.
Yeah,
Okay.
If it was on, he would watch it with me. He never asked to watch it after that.
Yeah,
I guess the thing is, we didn't have TikTok growing up, right? We had our GI Joes, and then you had TV. So whatever was on, you would watch it.
yeah.
It's like I'd watch Matlock, so and I'd watch anything that was on. So
my wife and I are watching the new Matlock.
Oh yeah, I've heard
yeah,
that's
I
good.
was watching it the other day with my wife. So
Yeah.
Is it
not
is it
bad.
any good?
It's
Kathy
good.
Bates.
Yeah, good premise. It's a fun premise.
Yeah,
Okay.
I watched the first two.
Kathy
episodes.
Bates, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you got a great actress, so and it makes sense why it's Matlock. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
It's not like she's replacing Matlock.
Yeah.
right.
Like the premise of it's funny. So it's not.
They acknowledge the TV show Matlock in the
yes,
TV
they
show.
acknowledge the TV show
okay.
Matlock. So,
All right.
so it makes it better. They don't like she's
Yeah.
Matlock, she's the bestest, blah blah blah. She's
It's not a
taking over.
recon. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's something
Okay.
completely different.
It's not the girl Ghostbusters where Matlock doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
That was the start of everything. The reboots were starting to get a little hokey there.
Oh, they'll still get hokey. Those are always going to be bad reboots.
Yeah.
But
I know they're rebooting Little House on the Prairie, and I'm like, oh, please don't. It's like,
Are they
should do
really?
Little House on the Dominion.
yes,
Let's set it in the Dominion.
yes. It's like Little House on the Prairie is like perfect the way it is. Just
Yeah.
don't mess with it.
Every episode ends with obedience is life.
Now, if they could do like Little House on the Prairie and have it like the Oregon Trail, where it's like
Just everyone dies.
Oh yeah, everybody
Everyone
dies
does
of dysentery.
Yeah. An oxen.
Someone gets eaten by a bear. You know,
Yeah.
I might get a watch that. That'd be kind
Yeah.
of funny.
All right.
Have Taylor Sheridan. He could write it and
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
You know what I want? You know what I want to happen?
What's that?
I want another season of the Orville. And I want it to
Yeah.
be fantastic. And I want it to be fantastic. And I want a bunch of people to point at it. Say that.
Yeah.
That.
Yep.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. People were doing
Yep.
that.
Well, it's weird that you had a show on another network, and it was better.
Yeah.
And the problem, and I don't know what was up with Fox, why they didn't, renew it.
It's not them. It's Seth MacFarlane just is too busy with everything else.
Mhm.
I think he
Well,
just
see,
kind of
that's what
follows.
sucks is he inserted himself in there, and he really should have had another captain
Well, no, it's not just that he doesn't have time to act. It's writing all the scripts,
writing. Yeah,
overseeing that.
yeah.
And he strikes me as a guy that once he goes down one creative path, that's all he wants
Like a
to do.
perfectionist. Yeah.
No, not a perfectionist. Just like that's where his interest lies, so he doesn't want to think about the other stuff. So like that's why he's all into the TED shows right now, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he got an idea, loved it, and now he's doing that.
It's like, could you do the Orville again? It's like, or take over Star Trek series, something.
Yeah.
It's like, because nobody's looking forward to the Academy. I haven't heard one positive thing about that. It's like it's like, yeah,
it's sad that they don't.
Well, you could get good actors. You got 2 Oscar winners in Section 31, and it was god awful.
Yeah.
So you had Jamie Lee Curtis and you had Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
And Oscars doesn't mean anything if you don't have a good script.
I don't think with the Academy, I don't think the acting will be the problem.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, Paramount needs to have their own listener feedback section.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah.
And Fire will.
All right.
Win. So.
Yeah, we should probably.
They have their own listener feedback section. They just don't care.
Yeah,
right.
They're
and that's the sad part.
I was looking at the comments. We talked about this, I think, in our group text.
Yeah.
But there were all these positive comments on all the official Facebook pages and whatnot, and you could tell they were deleting the negative ones because you could not find any negative. You couldn't find any negative comments, but you could find negative replies to positive comments. Which means whoever's job it was to go through and delete the negative comments was doing a half-assed job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they do have their own stuff. They do have their own feedback. They just don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they have bots that like fill it up real quick with positive ones, and then
somebody made a comment about this might be the one where Dan taps out or something.
Yeah.
and I don't know, man. I don't know how much more of this I could watch.
Right.
If
Dan, just watch an episode of DS9 and you talk about the episode of DS9 that week.
If Starfleet Academy is as bad as I'm anticipating it, I don't know, man. I don't know if I have the time to invest.
I hear you.
Invest in a show that I don't actually enjoy watching. I did it for 5 years with Discovery.
Yeah.
Well, it's the bad era it's the Discovery era, and I think that's what hurts. If it was Picard, like after Vulcan explodes, all that, I think that'd be interesting.
And it's not just the
I'd love it.
It's not just the diehard fans. The casual fans see this too. I have a coworker who he had a change in his life recently where his father-in-law passed away, so his wife moved down to Florida to live with her mother, and he's living alone here in New York for another year or two until he can retire and move down there. So he is bored out of his mind.
Yeah.
So he watches a lot of stuff, and he's been watching a lot of Star Trek, and he's echoing everything that we say on the show. He just finished Picard. And he agrees 1,000% that Picard season 3 was fantastic. The other 2, he'll probably never watch them again.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So it's not just the nerds with the podcasts. It's regular people feel the same way about these things, and they don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
take note, Paramount.
Yeah.
Dan, I heard you're listening to other podcasts now. What's going on?
Oh, I know. He's heard us.
It's not you. It's me.
He threw that out there earlier.
Yeah.
It's mostly just whatever YouTube videos come up in the feed. I listen to them. I listen to them on my drive to work. I don't even watch them.
If you listen to Robert Meyer Burnett, oh my God, he rips it. That's a good one.
I don't even know the names of these shows or these. I mean, there's a couple like what is it, Screen Crush?
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
guy with the guy with the dog, and I listen to him quite a bit. Do you know Steve Shives?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I listened to about half of his review of Section 31, and he really didn't have much nice to say about it either.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty big fan of modern Trek.
Yeah.
Trekcast, the previous generation.
I know. I saw that.
That's what we should change the name of the podcast to.
Yeah.
I'm doing a Voyager rewatch, so I started listening to the Delta Flyers with Robert Duncan
Oh,
McHale
nice.
and Garrett
Yeah.
Wang. And so, as I watch I'll watch the episode, and then I'll listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I like episodes like that because I kind of, there was an old one that's no more, and you have to find it on the archive. It's not even on the podcast. And they reviewed DS9, and it's kind of funny because that's how I found Trekcast, was because of that show.
Oh, okay.
They started in like 2008, and then they ended in, I think, 2012, reviewing DS9.
Was it the Gamma Quadrant?
Yeah, it was the Gamma Quadrant.
Yep, I used to listen.
Oh,
yes,
I've heard of that. Well, speaking of finding Trekcast, I know you said you were going to wrap up the show. Make sure you share this on all your social media, things, your Facebook, your YouTubes, your Twitter or X. How do we land on TikTok? Is that still around? Yeah, TikTok's still around, and Instagram. Yeah. So, follow us on all those platforms and share. That's a really good way to get the word out and to get more listeners and stuff, and subscribe to all that. And you can send us an email, trekcasttng@gmail.com. Send us an email you can send me an email at strongbeard1701@gmail.com. And you want to throw up that number, Daniel? Give us a call at 570-661-0001 and leave your voicemail, and we'll play it on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
All right.
Will there be a show next week?
Oh, that's a good question. We'll let you know.
We'll let you know. Follow us on social media, and you'll find out.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
This is Captain Benjamin Sisko of Deep Space Nine and Space God to the Bajorans. I have a mission for you. This falls outside of Starfleet guidelines, so I can't order you, but I'm asking for volunteers. Volunteers who will subscribe to the Trekcast YouTube channel, leave 5-star reviews on your podcast app of choice, and share Trekcast across your social media accounts. If we can make our audience bigger, we might have a chance against the Dominion. Are you ready? Subscribe, like, and share. Are you with me?